What? It's like the house?
Yeah, on the house. On the house. On the house.
Nate.
On the house. Yo, Nate, on the house.
Double fingers that are fully locked into it.
People love him so much.
Hey, I'm not surprised.
Nate Diaz is one of the most iconic and polarizing figures in the world of mixed martial arts. Known for his fearless attitude, relentless fighting style, and unfiltered personality, Nate has become a legend inside and outside the octagon. He's not just a fighter, he's a symbol of toughness and authenticity. Whether you love him or hate him, Nate's impact on UFC and MMA culture is undeniable. In this video, we'll explore his journey from humble beginnings to global stardom, his biggest fights, lifestyle, and what makes him such a unique character in the fight game. The early days. Before stepping into the bright lights of the UFC octagon, Nate Diaz's journey was shaped by years of hard work and dedication. Growing up in Stockton, a city known for its tough environment, Nate learned to channel his energy and aggression into martial arts training. Under the guidance of his brother and various coaches, he began competing in local grappling tournaments and amateur MMA bouts. These early fights helped Nate develop not only his technical skills, but also his mental toughness. He quickly gained a reputation as a fighter who never quit, regardless of the odds stacked against him. His early professional fights were often gritty, sometimes brutal, affairs where Nate demonstrated his heart and willingness to push beyond pain and fatigue. These formative years laid the foundation for his later success in the UFC as he built a fighting style that combined aggressive striking with world-class submission grappling. Starn. Nate Diaz's journey to becoming a UFC star is a classic story of grit, determination, and raw talent overcoming the odds. When he first entered the UFC, Nate was relatively unknown to mainstream audiences. Yet, those who followed MMA closely saw his potential immediately. Nate's fighting style was a unique blend of relentless pressure, top-tier Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and gritty boxing. Unlike many fighters who relied heavily on flashy moves or knockout power, Nate excelled at wearing down his opponents through pace, endurance, and mental toughness. His exceptional cardio allowed him to maintain a high pace from the opening bell to the final round, often leaving opponents gasping for breath while he seemed to get stronger as the fight progressed. This ability to push the pace and keep constant pressure is what made Nate a nightmare matchup. His grappling skills, honed since childhood under the tutelage of his brother Nick and their BJJ coaches, made him dangerous on the ground. He could transition fluidly between striking and submission attempts, keeping opponents guessing and off balance. One of Nate's defining moments early in his UFC career was his fight against Gray Maynard in 2011. It was a brutal 5-round war where both fighters showed immense heart. Nate's ability to absorb punishment and keep fighting earned him respect and admiration from fans and fighters alike. That fight proved Nate wasn't just tough, he was a warrior. Nate's outspoken personality and refusal to conform to typical fighter stereotypes also helped him stand out. He was candid in interviews, often calling out opponents with a mixture of humor and confidence. This authenticity resonated with fans who saw Nate as a fighter who stayed true to himself. His submission victory over Michael Johnson was a masterclass in patience and technique, while his battles with Donald Cerrone showcased his striking improvements and ability to adapt. Each fight further solidified his place as one of the most dangerous and entertaining fighters in the UFC. The Super Fight. The saga between Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor is one of the most memorable chapters in UFC history, and it all began with UFC 196. The event was initially supposed to feature McGregor defending his featherweight title against Rafael dos Anjos, but when The odds were stacked against him. McGregor was the rising star, undefeated in the UFC and one of the most dominant fighters in the sport. Few expected Nate to stand a chance. From the opening bell, Nate shocked the world. He used his trademark pressure to push McGregor back, landing clean punches and controlling the pace. Nate's ability to absorb McGregor's striking power surprised many. Instead of backing down, Nate grew stronger as the fight went on. In the second round, Nate took McGregor down and locked in a tight UFC history and proved that skill, heart, and experience could overcome hype and flashy knockout power. The fight also ignited one of the most intense rivalries in MMA. The public demanded a rematch, and UFC delivered at UFC 202. The rematch was an epic 5-round battle that showcased both fighters' skills and determination. Nate pushed McGregor to his limits, with both exchanging heavy blows and demonstrating high-level striking and grappling. The crowd was electrified by the back-and-forth nature of the fight. Nate's toughness was on full display as he absorbed punishing strikes, but kept coming forward. Although McGregor won by a narrow split decision, many fans and analysts praised Nate for his heart and resilience. These fights not only elevated Nate Diaz's status to that of a global superstar, but also brought unprecedented attention to the sport. The Diaz vs. McGregor saga highlighted the drama, unpredictability, and excitement that make MMA so compelling. For Nate, it was the defining moment of his career, a true testament to his skill, toughness, and unbreakable spirit. Net worth. Over the course of his career, Nate Diaz has earned a substantial amount of money through fight purses, sponsorship deals, and other ventures. Although not the highest-paid fighter in UFC history, Nate's popularity and marketability have allowed him to accumulate significant wealth. His fights, especially high-profile bouts like those against Conor McGregor, generated massive pay-per-view buys and gate revenues. Nate has also been involved in various sponsorships and endorsements, which contribute to his income. Despite his wealth, Nate is known for keeping a relatively low-key lifestyle compared to some other fighters. He invests in what matters to him and often supports causes and projects close to his heart, including his own efforts to give back to the community. Nate's financial success is a testament to both his skill inside the cage and his ability to connect with fans outside of it. Lifestyle. Nate Diaz lives a lifestyle that reflects his personality, straightforward, unapologetic, and deeply connected to his roots. Away from the octagon, Nate enjoys surfing, skateboarding, and training in various martial arts disciplines. He has a laid-back vibe but is intensely focused when it comes to his fighting career. Nate's diet and training regimen are tough and disciplined, but he also values balance and mental health. He often speaks about staying true to himself and not conforming to the pressures of fame. Nate's relationships with friends, family, and fans are important to him, and he frequently interacts with supporters on social media. Despite the fame, Nate remains grounded, often emphasizing the importance of authenticity and resilience, both in and out of the cage. Outrow. Nate Diaz's story is far from over. As one of the most resilient and entertaining fighters in UFC history, he continues to inspire new generations of athletes and fans alike. His journey from a tough neighborhood in Stockton to the global MMA stage is a testament to what determination and heart can achieve. Whether he's winning spectacular fights or speaking his mind candidly, Nate remains true to who he is. His legacy is not just about championships or money. It's about being real, fearless, and unbreakable. As fans eagerly await his next moves, one thing is clear. Nate Diaz will always be a fighter who defies expectations and keeps the spirit of MMA alive.